Yeah, but how, Mark? Can you tell me how? That's what we're going to talk about right now, all right? We're going to get into a little bit of science behind what our brain is kind of like going on, what's going on inside of our brain to prevent us from developing self-confidence. So confidence is created, believe it or not, in your subconscious mind. It's thoughts, the beliefs, the things that you have flowing around here where like, oh my gosh, like what's going to happen if I say this or I do this? What if I don't make the right decision? What if I don't do this? And what you're doing is you're like second guessing yourself into feeling that lack of confidence. But the great thing is when you understand how that works, you can actually flip it around and you can start finding out actually situations in the past where you've done things that you've never done before and you actually excelled at it. As a matter of fact, probably right now you're doing it better than everybody else because you did go through that process of learning, right? And so I want to give you some example thoughts in terms of what could be happening in your mind that is preventing you from developing your self-confidence, all right? If you have this thought of like, well, failure is a weakness. If I go out there and I fail in front of people, that makes me seem weak. I'm different than people who are successful. Like I don't look like them. I don't like act like them. I don't sound like them. I just don't know how. I don't know how to lead. I don't know how to do this thing. I don't know how to take the next action. How about this one? Other people's opinions define me. This doesn't necessarily come up at an exact thought like that, but it's like, man, what are they going to think? Like, what's my supervisor going to think? What's this person going to think? What's the citizen going to think? And you get into this like second guessing yourself, right? Fear means I'm not confident. I kind of hit this one before, right? It's like you have this thought of like, well, if I have fear, well, then that means that I must not be confident. But guys, I was fearful a few minutes ago before I actually started this presentation. How do you guys feel? Do you feel like I am confident? It doesn't have anything to do with that correlation, right? But that's what our brain tries to trick us to do. Here's another one. I've never done this before. Anytime your brain goes back into, but you've never done this before, you have to remember the difference between confidence and self-confidence, all right? Just because you've never done it before does not mean that you can't do it in the future. So I'm 45 right now. Everything that I've thought, everything that I've done in the past, I could literally decide this very second to do something else entirely different. That's how powerful we are, right? But a lot of times we get our choices stuck in the past instead of realizing that we have this ability of making a different choice any moment and any second of any single day. That's where we get our power as humans. Nobody else can do that, right? No other type of animal can do that, but we can because we have that dignity of choice, right? And confidence is something you either have or you don't. Guys, confidence, self-confidence is not something that is something that's a natural born trait or not. And if you don't have it, it's just something you don't do. It's not like either I'm 6 foot tall or I'm 5 foot tall, right? That's not something like this. This is a skill that you can develop when you're willing to feel the fear and you're doing it anyway. All right. So why does this even matter? Because when you feel more confident, you're going to set more goals. You're going to take more action. You're going to talk to more people. You're going to help more people. You're going to take on more risks. You're going to achieve more. You're going to believe beyond what you're currently capable right now because you're going to have confidence in yourself to do these things. You're going to be able to live into your future. So instead of using your past against you, you're going to actually be able to paint a whole entire new future. That's literally what I did. Now, increasing your self-confidence comes from changing the stories that you have about yourself. Those stories that we said a little bit earlier, the thoughts of like, oh, you know what, I'm not like everybody else. Like, what are people going to think about me? These are all stories that you have about yourself. They're different beliefs. And a lot of times they're like pre-programmed in there and you don't even realize that you're kind of going through it. So that's why we're going to get into like why I'm actually feeling the lack of self-confidence right now, okay?